Alright, good afternoon and evening to everybody. I'm Dark Knight, I'll be the caster for tonight. We have a Division East matchup between Icecrown Citadel Knights and Tar Pit Tipplers. Actually briefly going into our bands. Actually, I might have to do that after the initial bands. But we had Tar Pit Tipplers taking us to not Tar Pit, Icecrown taking us to Battlefield of Eternity. Alright, good afternoon and evening to everybody. Dark Knight, I'll be the caster for tonight. We have a Division East matchup between Icecrown Citadel Knights and Tar Pit. Forgot to drop my own stream. First, we can look in with a Brightwing ban on Battlefield of Eternity. Brightwing, always a healer, very strong. Over the past year, I think Brightwing has gained a lot of usage as far as being a very good healer. We have Icecrown with a ban on Lucio. A ban that's been pretty common against Michigan, so definitely targeting Michigan as far as Lucio play goes. Next ban for Tar Pit, we have Johanna. And again, Johanna is always a very solid, one of the most highly contested heroes, along with Anduin, at least in Division E. So, not surprising that we see a Johanna ban on Battlefield of Eternity. Next, we see a Rainer ban from Icecrown. Again, being a target ban, looks like, but also Rainer tends to be a solid hero on this race map. First pick coming out for Tar Pit with Vala on Pyromania. Let's see how Icecrown decides to counter with their first two picks. Greymane, always a solid choice here. Other auto attack heroes always tend to be of high priority. We see a Mei and a Li Ming. So Mei being one of Credit Clown's top tanks. And we also see Li Ming coming through. Also probably one of her best maps. We'll run out the first round of picks from Tar Pit. We'll see what they decide to go with. We have the Anduin and Diablo. So this is very good. I like what I see so far from Tar Pit. Vala, although she just recently got slightly nerfed in the last patch. Anduin is still a relatively good healer across the board, and Diablo has a lot of walls to bang enemies against in this particular map. We get our second round of bans coming in. Let's see what we get from Icecrown. We get a Tacitor. And so Tacitor, always really good combination with Diablo. Provides that wall. As a Diablo main myself, I appreciate having a wall when there isn't a wall available. So definitely a good ban here. And now we'll see the second round of bans coming from Tar Pit Tipplers and see what they decide to ban out. We have a Sonya. And again, Sonya is one of the better offlaners, I would say, as far as if you want to race. So overall solid bans coming through across the board. We have Shinboku selecting a Tychus. Interesting. Very good against Diablo again. As a Diablo main, I know that I typically don't like a Tychus, but so that tells me they're setting themselves up to potentially race, but also fight the point as far as the objective. We have Blaze being picked up by Lich Queen. And so far, a very beefy front line from Icecrown Citadel Knights. We have the Cassia being picked up by Tipplers, and it'll be rounded out with a Leo. So they opted to pick up a Cassia, potentially to help counter Tychus's damage. And Leoric, ever since his last slight buff, has more of a presence. And we'll see what is the final pick for Icecrown Citadel Knights. Then we have Stukov. And again, Stukov, I think if you look at the statistics, he's the second most picked healer behind Anduin as far as participation. And so, not surprising, we see a Stukov being able to provide that silence, being able to provide a disengage, and overall great utility. So far, I think both teams have a very solid draft. As far as who has the better pickup right now, I can't really decide, but we'll look at some of the bands I didn't get to. My OBS not working correctly, but I guess we'll switch over to intermission for me. But anyways, start off by looking at Icecrown Citadel Knights. We have Shinpoku on Wei Ming, Clown on Mei, Way to Go on Stukov, Forex on Tychus, and then Lich Queen on Blaze. Over at Tarpit's side, we have Jadro on Diablo, Pyromania, Vala, Michigan on Anduin, Bud Lightyear on Cassia, and then lastly we do have Halstrom on Yorick. And so, starting off with some of the picks as far as level 1 talents, nothing that I would say is too out of the norm. We do see though, Lich Queen going with Adrenaline Stinpack, which is rather interesting. Does provide the cooldown reduction, or as far as the movement value. You see this early skirmish going on, and Tar Pit getting rather low, and they secure the kill on Anduin. So they're able to secure early kill, and they're looking to move down and secure the bottom camp. Meanwhile, up top we still see our offlaners going at it. Lich Queen doesn't mind dealing with the Leo. Here at the bottom we still have Icecrown being able to pick up the bottom camp and looking to be able to push with it. And so this is a particular matchup. Again, from a perspective of a tank, I know that Diablo has to be very mindful of when that minigun is online for Tychus. Typically, minigun being online means Diablo walk back, right? And so, if Jadro's able to bait out that minigun and get Tychus not to get any value from it, then he's able to trade better. Well, we get an engage, and we actually have Bud Lightyear going down, the flip from Jadro, and actually being able to get a trade out though, 2 for 1. We have Stukov going down, and Vala and Cassie actually going down. At top, Halstrom, I believe, was able to secure that. I believe I saw before my eye that able to start the camp and secure it. We have Lich Queen backing up. And both teams looking to reset. Call for help being asked on the bridge camp on the side of Tarpit as well. as Icecrown, Citadel Knights looking to get their camp going. We have the top camp still slightly pushing in on Icecrown. But now we get to the part of this particular map where you have to make a lot of decisions, right? It looks like Tar Pit are going in to try and race. And I think across the board, it's a pretty even, maybe race that favors the Tar Pit, but they're engaging under their own Immortal. And they're able to get some value. Diablo's getting some damage out, but they're able to stay back. Cassie getting stunned. And they're able to push off Tar Pit. Michigan pulling Jadro, but it looks like he might get slowed and stunned, and he's out for the count. And as a consequence, Anduin as well. So now we have Icecrown looking to put some damage into the Immortal. Meanwhile, we still have a camp up top going down. Got some value. The bottom camp from Icecrown also getting some value as well, but overall we see a pretty fair trade. Even though we saw some kills, although we see Icecrown closer being to 7. So at this point, Tar Pit has to make a decision whether they want to just, are we just going to race or try to defend? And it looks like opting just to race and get whatever they can out of this particular objective. And the first Immortal will be going out to Icecrown. Be very well done by Icecrown being able to push off Tar Pit Tipplers and being able to secure the first Immortal. So Immortal going top. We have an early stun. Sukup finally coming out, but Light Year getting low, being able to back off. Diablo is looking to engage, flips the Sukup, but there's no follow-up. A little bit too far ahead, possibly. Gets stunned by the Mei, and then is out. So this forces Tar Pit to be a little bit more careful, likely having to concede this top fort. And we do see that to be confirmed. As the Immortal gets lower, they're actually able to pick up Cassie as well. We'll get to see if they're trying to push some more. We don't see them. They back off. They got what they wanted. While bottom lane, we see a duel between Leo and Blaze. It comes out pretty even. Although Lich Queen being rather low on mana. At top, we have Icecrown being able to pick up the top camp.
A hero has left the battle.
And looks like we have a disconnect. So we'll move over to our intermission screen meanwhile. Again, we have Icecrown posturing up. Get the bottom cap. And they're able to secure that. At top, we still have 4 members of Tar Pit looking to get some value at top, close to that XP lead. Oh, the bottom house trying to get taken out, trying to defend the bottom fort. Meanwhile, at top, we do have Tar Pit again trying to trade out. But if you're Tar Pit, this is something that just makes sense, right? You really can't contest bottom You need to close that XP gap for this upcoming objective. So, one that makes sense. However, we do see Icecrown saying, hey, you guys are going to stay up there? We'll decide to push in and get some value as well. They're able to take down the bottom wall of their keep, exposing that. But overall, it seems like a move that Tar Pit Tipplers had to make. We do see Icecrown being on there, opposing Immortal, trying to burn it down as much as possible. And then Tar Pit looking to maybe stall. However, not before Icecrown is able to take them to halftime. So again, Tar Pit Tipplers still not getting 10 yet. Trying to get that engaged. They just got 10. We see the snap APOC picked by Diablo. And a lot of R buttons being pressed now. We see Bunker going out. Entomb, Ice Wall. Everything's going out right now, and we have a disconnect again in the middle of an engage, unfortunately. But I guess we'll take this time real quickly to see, because it was kind of a transition. We didn't get to quite to see what was going on. So we have Bucker Drop coming from the Blaze, Ice Wall, Wave of Force from Li Ming. We do have Flaming Swipe from Sukov, Commandeer Odin coming from Tychus. We also have Rain of Vengeance from Vala, Entomb from Leoric, Ball Lightning from Arcasia, have a selection from Anduin, and then APOC from our Diablo. But again, we'll move back and wait to see for our player to reconnect. And again, unfortunately, so we do have
Heroes slain.
actually Diablo going down in the midst of that. Unfortunately, it looks like Icecrown's able to move over to their particular immortal and be able to burn it down, with Tar Pit just opting to try and grab their own bruiser camp. And at this point, they know that they're trying to complete it. We have the silence coming out from Sukov, and they're actually able to secure the steal. That was very risky. We said Diablo overpower the Tychus, but not able to secure anything. We do see Illyric going down. We have them top Mordo again, top lane, fort down, And Icecrown looking to get some value up here. We have Odin being popped by Tychus. We have the friends coming out. Leoric up front taking a lot of damage. Pyromania stepping up, trying to get some of the damage out to the Immortal. Diablo getting stunned out and going down again. Icewall coming out from the main, being able to pull the combo, but Vala's actually able to escape. However, Leoric also goes down as well. And Icecrown looking to take the top keep, and they do at the price of Tychus. Vala getting rather low, but able to secure her life under the towers. But Icecrown's sticking around. The Immortal is relatively healthy. Diablo popping a naked Apocalypse gets Icecrown to back off a bit, but some damage will be coming out to their keep, and it goes down to 74%. Thus, we have a winning condition set up for Icecrown as they back up, looking to secure the top camp. We have Mei, Sukal, as well as Ling Ming coming around to secure the top camp. And we have Tarpit just looking to maybe push out lanes and get together. We have Lyric going down to the bottom camp. Rather risky. We don't see anybody potentially on the map. Meanwhile, we have Tychus and Blaze being able to get their own bruiser camp rather early, but I guess there's not much you can do when the waves are pushed out this much. Lyric still at the bottom camp. I guess he realizes they know I'm here, able to just leave. We have the top camp pushing slight a bit, and catapults, and that's gonna be rather big, right? We have catapults up top. Icecrown's gonna be able to engage around that, especially during the next particular Immortal. They can say, hey, someone has to come up and clear those catapults. We see them two coming out. On Mei able to get out. Light Bomb comes out. Apoc comes out, but it doesn't look much curse from that. We do see Cassie going down. Li Ming going down with Oda being popped earlier. Blaze taking a lot of damage, but still able to get out. Diablo goes in to try and get something going, but unfortunately it goes down as well. So we see a 2 for nothing as far as Icecrown and Tarpid. We see them still pushing in. They're able to secure the bottom keep, so now we have both keeps down. Blaze engages on Yorick, able to stun him out for a bit. He's Wraith walks with 22 HP. He's able to get out. Cassius back up, but also low, taking a lot of damage. However, able to escape, so Tarpit rather fortunate that they're able to get away with other HP. Then Tune from Lyric comes out, able to get a couple members of Icecrown, but they're able to get away with no follow-up from Tarpit. Tipplers, Leo's looking for something. His Tune's out. At this point, it looks like they're just trying to see if they can trade out damage. We're able to get that Li Ming out, actually. We have Cardicon very low. Pops is unstoppable. And actually goes down as well. I mean, all this time while Diablo's helping clear top. Now we see Icecrown retreating, way to go very low, but able to get away. Now we have the next objective up. Cassius already on the blue Immortal, trying to put out damage. Oh, that's true. Not a keep, it's a core. However, even with Mei down, they're able to get some damage out. And we see halftime coming through. And Tarpix deciding to try and secure the camp at the same time with their Immortal being on their side. However, they do have to be aware that Ming can poke away at this forever, and they're able to get quite a bit of it down. They're able to, Tarpit's able to secure that camp. Light Bomb comes out, and Tune comes out. Apoc comes out. You see the bunker, and Way to go being focused by that Cassia. We see May go down, but also Cassia going down. Leo rather low, but was able to survive. And now we have again a 1-for-1 trade here. So rather even. We have a map. We have a camp pushing top. However, Tarpit looks like they're trying to press the issue and see if they can get something quick hand on me. Receiving a vengeance. A wall bang on that Tychus. However, he's very low. Can he get out? Yes, he can. We have Leo still trying to chase him. Leo goes down. And so now we have a situation where Icecrown has a slight advantage. Icecrown. Oh, we actually see Vala being able to go down and get the Tychus, but it's traded out for that Stukov. Stukov being able to give that Vala the big arm. We have Light Bomb coming out on Diablo to help disengage, but Diablo's able to walk away. And just a bloodfest. Lots of R's being pressed, lots of action going on. And I think Tarpit feels like we gotta make something happen. We have Ball Lightning being pressed. Li Ming being able to disengage. We have the Entomb catching no one. Then we have Li Ming backing off for a full reset. It looks like Tarpit Tipplers looking to engage top while Cash is still on the Immortal. Icewell comes out, catches Michigan, but nothing comes out that. Now it looks like we have everybody up. We have Odin up for Tychus. We do have APOC up for Diablo. They're looking to engage it up in the middle. Michigan very low. APOC does come out. Silence from the Stukov. Bunker is pulled out, and we see Anduin and the Cassia being focused, both going down, leaving Diablo by himself for the most part, while Ball actually went back, I believe, to clear or help clear the bottom push. But we do see the Immortal going over to the side of Icecrown, and it looks like they're just going to go to core.
Red team's core is under attack.
30 seconds or so on 4 members of Tarpit, Tipplers, and they figure yeah, looks like we're going to be able to finish this before at 30%. Members of Tarpit not able to come up in time, and they're able, it looks like, to finish this up in GG. Game 1 going over to the side of Icecrown Citadel Knights. So, great game. We see that Icecrown was able to execute what they wanted to do as far as being able to counter the race from Vala. A strong showing from both sides. But Tarpit Tipplers seem to fall a little bit behind, and we know once you fall behind, especially on this map, it can get rather difficult at times. Looking at the stats for this particular match, we look at the siege. Again, we see Blaze having most siege, but again on this map, I guess it doesn't matter as much. When we look at the hero damage, we do see the side of Icecrown getting a lot more damage out of the Li Ming and Tychus. That Li Ming being able to poke out the Immortal, but also the enemy team with 71k damage. As far as healing, we're actually able to see Stukov being able to out heal. And again, I believe Stukov and Anduin again being the 2 healers that are most contested in Division E East. Not surprising we got to see a match of with them 2, but it seemed like Tarpit was able to get less value from their Anduin, but part of that being that most of the time they were a little bit behind on levels. So we'll see what match or map we get up. So then we move back to our standings. I didn't get quite to look at that before the match. We do have Icecrown tied with first place with Wood League Airlines with 16 points. And then we have Tarpit Tipplers hanging around 6th place, or tied for 5th and 6th place with Phoenix Rising Sapphire. So again, both teams are in the midst of trying to get or securing a strong playoff seed. And obviously I've had experience playing both teams, and both are very solid teams. And so any experience you can gain from these matches definitely helps out. Let me go ahead and update the score as we wait. And again, what I will have to say is, again, that Tychus and me both were able to get a great value. The resets definitely helped. Shimpoku doing an amazing job on that lean mean, being able to secure 11 kills and only 1 death, and quite a bit of damage. So we'll see if Tarpit decides to ban out that Li Ming. But again, this is one of Li Ming's stronger maps. Tychus being an overall solid choice, especially against a Diablo. Again, we have Icecrown on the left-hand side, blue side, and Tipplers being on the right side. See if we look, and we have similar bans as last time. We saw Icecrown targeting Michigan with that Lucio. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that Lucio ban again. This is actually a very solid map for Lucio, especially any Lucio in general. We do see the Vala being banned, surprisingly. Again, not wanting Tarpit to get that. They did play that last match. And we do see the Mei ban on the side of Tarpit. They told Credit Clown, we had enough of your Mei, and we're going to ban it out. Mei is also one of the, I think, behind Johanna, the second most picked tank in Division E East. So not surprising, we do have the Johanna being banned out on the side of Icecrown. So potentially we'll see at least one new tank. And we'll see what the second ban will be for Tarpit Tipplers. And we do see the Stukov being banned out. So again, as far as participation and being picked or banned out, we have the Johanna main Stukov being one of the most popular heroes, either being picked, banned. So not surprising. We do have Shimpoku selecting Junkrat. I know that actually Junkrat has been banned out in earlier part of the season. A Junkrat, a good Junkrat, is always one that you always want to avoid, especially on maps where you have to deal with point control, especially with those traps. We do see Michigan being able to pick up Lucio. I think that if I recall correctly, Michigan does not get to play Lucio often, so I'm sure Michigan's very excited about being able to play Lucio. And then we see Rainer for Pyromania. Again, these are coming out as comfort picks for both of them. But I'm sure Michigan's very happy. I think I've seen it the previous bans. I think Lucio was banned out pretty much 90% of the time or so. And that prompts the variant pick from Credit Clown. And then we do have the Anduin on Wade to go so far. And so we see the blow up comp. We have Anduin providing that light bomb, taunt variant, again providing that early green pressure. Junkrat just being Junkrat, overall being annoying, providing traps and a lot of damage, a lot of poke damage. Second round coming in, and we see the Blaze actually being banned out. So Lich Queen not being able to play Blaze this time around. We'll get to see what the second ban will be for, or second round of bans will be for Icecrown. Probably sewing Orphea. Orphea. Interesting. Interesting choice, because Orphea is one of those heroes that can really pop off when there's no CC. But Orphea, in this particular matchup that they have right now, they have Varian, they have Anduin, they have Junkrat. There's a lot of CC they bring, and Orphea is very susceptible to CC. But surprisingly, maybe there's something where they didn't want to deal with that. We do see the tasks that are coming out on the side of Tarpit Tipplers, as well as Sonya. So we have Jadro on Sonya. We saw banned out last time on the side of Icecrown. And so we're going to get the last two picks coming out from the Icecrown. So what can they bundle up with this? They have a pretty solid 3 group with Junkrat, Varian, and they might need a little bit more of a burst. We might see more of a burst hero coming in to be able to secure kills from the taunt. And we see Nazebo and Gazlo. Interesting. And so Nazebo, this combo, you taunt the target, Nazebo zombie walls them, and then you throw spiders on them, and they, they die, right? And so that's a very actually dangerous combo, especially now with Nazebo being buffed recently, although he recently got a slight nerf. But that's a very legit combo, one that's very easy to execute, very point and clicky. And to counter it, we have a Deathwing coming on the side of Hellstorm. So is this a main tank Deathwing? I approve. I've played main tank Deathwing before. If this is the case, I definitely approve of this. Although you're lacking some of the hard engages that other tanks have, Deathwing negates a lot what Varian's trying to do, right? Point and click. And a lot of times with Varian, you won't be shy to taunt the enemy tank. But that doesn't work if you can't taunt the enemy tank, right? So we'll see how Tarpit Tipplers are able to deal with that. Alright, so we'll start on the side of Icecrown. We have Credit Clown on the Varian, Korix on the Nazebo, Lich Queen on the Gazlo, Shinpoku on the Junkrat. And then I think, wait to go on Anduin. On the side of Tarpit, we do have Hellstorm, Deathwing, Jadro on the Sonya, Michigan on the Lucio, he never gets to play. Pyromania on Rainer, and then we have, who am I missing? Bud Lightyear, right? On the Citadel. So we see both teams coming in. Right away, we do see the spider build coming out from the Nazebo. Right away, being able to get a zombie wall on that Deathwing. As I said, Deathwing able to negate a lot of the CC that Icecrown Citadel Knights has, but he still can get zombie walls. So something that we will have to keep an eye on. We see the early rotation from Bud Lightyear up top by himself. However, Oh, able to get away. We have a hard rotation, but not able to get that capacitor. At the bottom, we do see Lich Queen facing off against the Deathwing. And again, this I played offlane, and I know this challenge of having to go against the other offlaner. Sometimes like watching paint dry. It's a thankless job, but someone has to do it, right? Meanwhile, we do see Tarpit rotating rather the safe way. They do have Michigan on Lucia, so they're able to rotate rather quickly. Right away, they get it on their fortification camp. They're getting that right away. Really early, I like to see that. That being matched by Lich Queen, able to do that, but rather on the solo purpose. Actually, while I was busy talking about fortification camps, we have Icecrown being able to secure the support camp, so they can secure that early healing objective for the camp. Very solid. We do see some XP being lost in the bottom, but we see both or two members of Icecrown being able to rotate down. Meanwhile, we have Junkrat and Way to Go being able to secure their own siege camp rather early. This is something that when you look at camps, you want to be able to get these camps at a point where you get some value. And if you figure, well, we want to get this camp out early so that we can do something with it, we see right away Taunt being selected by Credit Clown on that Varian. So now Varian is actually a real tank, able to taunt Daedra slightly. The zombie wall coming out, the spiders and toads, but Daedra able to survive being close to their own towers. We see the camp being picked up on the side of Tarpit Tipplers. We see a rotation up from ICCK, trying to help support this. Able to get a zombie wall on Raynor. Gotta be careful holding that turret. Meanwhile, no one's on point just yet. Tarpit Tipplers trying to clear the camp. They have one of their actually, both camps get cleared up by both teams. Now we see the rotation down. We're really moving towards the point. Han coming out on Lucio, stepping out of place, and Michigan on Lucio going down. Icecrown looking to secure early objective. Lich Queen very low, almost got away, able to put the turret down before that. Sonya going in. However, stepping back out. But again, a 1-for-1. Lucio stepping kind of out of place, being taunted. It's something you have to be careful. Whenever a Varian, you see the opposing enemy team healer step out, that's an instant taunt. You have to be very mindful as a Lucio to be very careful. That taunt will come out. We see Tarpit moving forward, trying to get in position to test. Pulsar flying in and able to get the Zebo down. Zombie will come out, but getting nobody. And actually, a rather quick objective, in my opinion. They're able to secure that early objective. Tarpit Tipplers get the protector. Looking to maybe get down the middle wall. And after that, they're going to look to move forward. Or move up, I should say. Get that top wall. Get that top city cut. Helping them set up for the next objective. Protector still with half its health. We do see Gavzo soaking off lane right now. 4 members of Icecrown up top. The taunt comes on Lucio again, and does Lucio get out? They do. Oh, Michigan, you're playing with fire. I know Lucio is very mobile, but Varian, ETC, it's one of those heroes that you have to just respect a little bit more. We see the engage on Daedra, the taunt coming out, and being bumped back by the mine, actually being unable to get away. We do see Daedra going down. Right away, we see them trying to posture up to take the support camp again. There we have one. They'll have a second one, and this will be quite a benefit for the second objective. We do have Hailstorm checking to see what they're doing. We're probably not able to do much. Meanwhile, we do have Tar Pit Tipplers securing their fortification camp at the same time as Lich Queen being able to get their own as well for the side of Icecrown. And again, we do see the support for the I would say healing camp, but it's support camp. This one being picked up by Shimboku on Junkrat. Now they move to secure their own camp. Meanwhile, we have 4 members of Tar Pit pushing in the middle wave. We still have Lich Queen on Gasso pushing the bottom lane. We see a rotation from Hailstorm trying to get some of that soak as well. Jaedra was on their siege camp. We do see a slight skirmish. Oh, and Shimboku gets a lot of damage coming out, but able to escape with that yeet of faith, as many call that task. That we gotta be careful. As soon as you cast your Q, that Varian's looking to taunt you. You gotta be very careful. You see Icecrown posturing to push and support their own camp at top. See if they can get any valley top. Nazebo doing Nazebo things, throwing frogs, throwing spiders. Junkrat doing Junkrat things. And we do see all coming out. Light Bomb, Taunt. We did have this Riptire coming out. Light Bomb. Ravenous Spirit, as well as Gravel Bomb from the side of Icecrown. As far as ults for Tar Pit Tipplers, we do have Black Hole, Valorant Roar, Leap, High Five, and Hyperion. We saw a few of them being used up on the side of Icecrown, so they're nice, but it's rather early, and by the time the ejector comes up, they likely will be up, but they probably have like 20 seconds or so. You do see a rotation down to mid, but they're simply just trying to get some soak. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, we still have the ongoing fight between Gaslow and Deathwing, although Deathwing does have the benefit of being able to be a global to some extent. He can stay there longer and soak,
Terminal activated.
but we'll see how that is matched up with Gaslow. We do have Icecrown looking to secure the early objective. Both teams very close to 13. However, they step off the pad, but they do come back. We do have 13th on the side of Icecrown. Tar Pit looking to hang around, wait. Let's get 13, and then we'll look to engage. Middle is actually taking quite a bit of damage. Well, at least a little bit, but still, nothing that would be too much of a problem. We have Deathwing coming up, landing. Root coming out, landing on the Sonya, but able to get away. We do have the first of the healing come out. Junkrat with Riptire, but it gets interrupted. Rainer able to interrupt that, pops the Hyperion and then backs off. We have Ravenous Spirit coming out. Taunt coming out, but no follow up on since Junkrat was being pushed off, and Nazebo was using his Ravenous Spirit. But overall, a decent trade. You see the charge of Taunt, and Hyperion goes down. The Nazebo with those spiders. The team's kind of rather all over the place. We do see Gasso going down, Shimboku going down on the hands of Michigan. Some payback, right? However, we do see a 2-for-1 overall. Icecrown then backs off, trying to reset. Meanwhile, we have on the pad Michigan and Jaedra and Bud Light, and this is something where I would like to see Tar Pit take advantage. These advantages they haven't come up as often, and this is where you need to just take advantage. You have numbers, well, not so much now. Timers are kind of shorter, but still, Deathwing landing. We have the Variant being separated. The Light Ball comes out, but hits a Deathwing, which is gonna do nothing. We do see the Gravel Bomb landing. I believe it hit 2 members, but oh, definitely having to back out, being very low. Sonya also being very low, gets blown up by the Riptire. Carpet Tipplers able to secure the objective, but at the cost of Sonya is looking like on the side of Icecrown being rather low. Zombie wall on the Rainer. However, it looks like Halstrom gets in. We do have Pastor in there as well, trying to secure at least miss some structural damage. Evens up a lot of the XP. We have Lucio and Rainer at the bottom, trying to get some push. As I mentioned earlier, you want to, if you're a Tarpit, you want to get as much value out of this. Unfortunately, on the side of Icecrown, they have Nazebo, and Nazebo just able to do a lot of damage to the Protector. So they're not looking to engage. Icecrown rotating down, but Michigan able to help Rainer get out rather quickly.
Hero slain.
We still have Sonya out for approximately 34 seconds. And Nazebo steps up to do some damage on the bottom wall. You see the engage on Tazza. Tazza able to disengage with that Black Oak for a second, but then does get taken out after the taunt. Lucio was being the next target, able to slip by, with Halstrom not able to get away from those spiders. And again, Nazebo being a very solid counter to Deathwing, does a lot of damage. And the zombie walls again, being able to trap Deathwing. Both teams being able to pick up 16. However, we do see that Tarpit is slightly ahead on structure, with one of the forts being down. They're able to secure their, I believe this is the third support camp, so they've been being able to take advantage of this. We see the engage on the Sonya under the fort, leaps out, but then Pyromania gets trapped under the zombie wall. He's able to get away. Spooky Raving Spray comes out, but the Black Hole also comes out, able to stop that channel. But it looks like Icecrown is still looking to push up top. I mean, we do have that heal, the fortification camp. And they're trying to take this, even it up on structures. And with the power of Junkrat and the Zebo, they're able to do such. Not much they can do. Meanwhile, we do have Halstrom on the Deathwing slowly pushing. Again, Deathwing not most known for the wave clear and siege, but if the team's not there, oh, and I do miss the kill actually on Tassiter. Again, being a 4v5, Icecrown is able to take advantage of that and actually secure a kill on Tassiter. And we do see a slight trade going on. We're trading bottom for, but for top keep wall, and if they're not careful, Icecrown may be able to secure that top keep. And we do see two walls coming out. Grab a bomb, light bomb, taunt. They're able to secure the kill on the Sonya and the Rainer. So they're trading out not even half of that bottom fort for top keep. It's very low, but that Nazebo's gonna, yeah, it's gone. Right. One more Q, yeah. So Icecrown being able to get very good value, that puts him almost a full level, over a full level ahead. 19 as level 20 is approaching on the side of Icecrown. You're able actually to secure the middle fort as well. So again, Tarpit being in a position where they're down in a very difficult spot. They're looking to start up the camp. I don't know about this. You have to give this up. But it looks like okay. Shows you what I know. And that's a particular moment where Icecrown should have been, hey, there's two of them down. They're trying to do their camp. We get a kill or two here, stagger them, and they can't do anything. But they were trying to do their own camp, securing the camp at the same time for the bottom objective. Again, we see Black Hole coming out. no one engaged on that. Sonya leaping onto Jay or to Torix, but he's able to walk away. Red Power coming out, and he's going to be able to help secure the kill on Deathwing. And then we also see Tacita going down. Taunt on the Sonya going down. Lucio going down, and yeah. Nazebo is a balanced hero, right? As one of my good friends would say, insert hero or insert champion is balanced. And looks like Icecrown is going to say, hey, we can end this. And I think we can. Pyramid is the only one left. 20 seconds on pretty much all the members, 4 members of Carpet. Now we have the siege on the core. Pyramid trying to do his best. Gravel bomb coming out. Deathwing's up. Tacita's up. Let's see if they can make a chance. If they can have a defense. The core is going down very low, down to 30%. But too much pressure, and the death timer is too long. And we have GG's on the side of Icecrown being able to secure the set game 2, I should say. Very well played again on the side of Icecrown, being able to have their particular comp, and again having a rather pokey, I guess Nazebo's a little more bursty now with his spider build, but again the variant being able to identify and get members of the side of Tar Pit out of position and able to take advantage of that. So let's look at some of the stats. Maybe we'll try and message to see if we can get some member from Icecrown to join me. But we do see again Nazebo being able to put out a lot of damage. On this time around though, game 2, we do see that Rainer and Tacita are able to get a lot of damage as well. Junkrat being able to get that poke damage, but Nazebo again being able to get the top damage and also top siege, with Deathwing slightly just behind. When we look at healing, again we have Anduin being able to get more value out of its healing versus Lucio, but then you have to count the fact that we have Deathwing, right? So you have one less body to heal. So let's see if we can get a member over from Icecrown to join me for a quick interview. But again, a note, Icecrown did a very good job of being able to kind of carry out what they wanted to do, being able to identify a target, blow it up. And Tar Pit unfortunately fell behind. They actually had a very good moment at the top, and they actually secured the top objective. But they weren't able to get much value out of it as much as I thought. There's a time where, again, especially against a team that is slightly ahead of you, right? You want to be able to get a little bit more value out of that. But it seemed after level 13, Icecrown was playing a little bit more together. And we did see Hellstrom on the Deathwing, being able to try to get some double soak going. But
hello! I'm trying to get someone to come and help me do this because I cannot do it myself.
That's fine. Anyways, congratulations on your 2-0 domination. How is your team feeling?
Feeling outstandingly amazing. It feels good. Kind of stressed out by like the DC that were happening in the first game, to be honest. We made it through.
Yeah, I know how it is to feel when a lot of stuff is going on where you can't really control it. So
I would like to take this moment to say sorry about that to Tarpit. Thank you for your patience. Our, our tank player needed to use his internet hotspot to go through the game.
yeah, and that's just something that I mentioned during the cast that unfortunately sometimes bad things happen. I have had in the past experience with very specific internet providers, and so that led me to switch my internet provider. But these kind of things happen, right? And sometimes you just can't prevent it.
Things.
But I guess meanwhile we wait for your
No, I don't think they're gonna come. Like
uh
they're pretty they're mean. I like the team, but right now they're being mean, and I'm
uh
pouting in my corner, and I'm just like,
it's all right. You'll do fine.
mm.
So let's go look at the first match. And so you took them to Battlefield of Eternity.
Exactly.
And so something that I noticed right away is as far as your comp, we did see the side of Tarpit being able to get Vala. And early on, my opinion was they had a
Yeah.
slight edge as far as being able to race you. You did pick up
Yeah.
the Tychus. Right away, that tells you with the Tychus, your race value goes down a little bit, but it looks like you were looking forward to maybe being able to fight on the point and
Yes.
team fight a little bit more. And so maybe if
Yes.
you could walk us through your thoughts as far as the draft, because it's one of that's kind of one of the things you got to decide on this map, right? Are we going to go full race, or are we going to try and kind of counter them and maybe team fight more? And so both strategies are valid, but that's something that depends on what's available for you. But maybe if you can talk a little bit about what your mindset coming in after the draft was completed.
Like after the bans, we were quite surprised because like those were not really picks that we were really picking in the previous games.
Yeah.
Like Sonya, who was it? Sonya, Brightwing, something
Oh,
else, and I
that's
was like,
right. So
okay.
I confused myself because I thought you banned out Sonya, and I confused
No, no,
myself
no, they
because
did, they
okay,
did.
because I know because I mean I've played both your teams before, and I was like, oh yeah, it's Sonya. Yeah, that makes sense because I know that I think in Tarpit side they do play Sonya. So
Carpet, yeah.
okay, all right. Yeah. So interesting. I mean,
So
but
like
I think
the reason. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, I mean, but Brightwing's always a really solid ban. I think over across the board.
uh, if it's not like in the other players' pool necessarily, I wouldn't go like
Yeah.
for like maybe if I no like not on our side. It's not something you're gonna see. I mean, we could bring it like
Well,
another day,
I'll tell you this: it's better than having
but
it's
like
it's better than not banning something, which we did in a
yeah,
previous match.
absolutely,
I've
absolutely.
I've done that before, or we've done that before. We were trying to decide what to ban, and we end up banning nothing. So I guess banning something is better than nothing, right?
That's an option.
And so
Like so, there was that. There was like the Diablo burn. We decided to go with
yeah,
Tychus. So we kind of went around that with the Vala on their side. Like we didn't quite know that they would play Vala on this. Like we banned the Rainer because we saw like some Rainer in the scouting.
yeah,
But beside that, like our draft is pretty classic ICC on BOE.
yeah. And I think you were looking towards trying to fight. You had the May. You have a lot of CC actually, right? Oh no, you didn't. You did have the May.
May
Blaze,
Blaze.
yes, you did actually have quite a bit of CC. Very beefy lineup. And Ming's actually one of those heroes that you kind of forget sometimes, but then you remember that they're a hero when they do a lot of damage to your team. And so you were able to.
That was mainly our only burn.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
well,
but
I mean,
yeah,
our only good burn.
yeah, and it's a very good hero on that map. You can if you're able to kind of distract the enemy team. I mean, and able to like not die. Ming can do quite a bit of work, and even if they try to contest you, Ming can poke away from miles away. So overall, I think it's one of Ming's stronger maps, obviously because of that
Yeah.
reason. But it looked like overall you were able to have quite a good command of that map, and able to secure, I believe, all of them. Yeah, you were able to secure all the immortals, and
Yeah, we did.
and Tarpit wasn't quite able to get on their feet. Again, BOE is one of those more small volley maps where if you're not able to get the race and you're not able to fight, then it gets very challenging, right? So you were able to kind of achieve what you wanted to do as far as being able to defend, and it really came down to a point where you were so far ahead. I think one full level at least, level and a half, and so you were able to stagger deaths, and it just seemed like Tar Pit wasn't able to get on their feet.
Come back
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, it's very challenging when you're trying to fight 4v5, 3v5. So, but it's just again, you're able to scare the immortals, and then it's very challenging to defend that. So there's you're able to kind of do what you wanted there. Well, it was you. Let's talk about game 2 then. I believe they selected Volskaya, right? I didn't get the message.
Yeah, they
Okay.
did.
So they selected Volskaya, and so this is a map.
There's a long story with that.
Yeah, and then Volskaya is a map where, like I mentioned during the cast as well, it's one that almost guarantees you get into 20, right? Whereas BOE is one that you don't quite have that guarantee. Volskaya tends to be a map where it's very difficult to end early, just because of the nature of the map and the objectives. So you come out here and you actually, what I was surprised, you were on the side of your bands, you let the Lucio go. I know that Michigan has been targeted on his Lucio quite a bit. And so, but you were able to get, the Mei was bound up on your side. You were able to pick up Varian, and then you get Shimpoku playing on the Junkrat, which I know has been banned out on Shimpoku quite a well. And they also saw the Blaze being banned out on your side. And so, what were your thoughts going into after that match after the second, after the draft? You pulled out a Gazlo. I know that you played that before because if you recall when we played against you, I was like, it's either gonna be Blaze or Gazlo.
I played Dehaka and Blaze, I think, against you. Did I?
No, I banned out. I banned out the Gazlo. That's why.
Okay.
So I was saying, yeah. I banned out the Gazlo. I was like, okay, I don't want to. Gazlo's a very good hero on that map because people have to be in a certain. Gazlo's very good when there's very close, tight places, and people have to be somewhere, right? So maps where there's an objective where they have to be there, or very kind of tight, kind of lanes and such. Gazlo has such big value, right? Where it's like Hanamara is not a very good Gazlo map because it's so wide and people don't have to be there. And so that was you got to, obviously the Blaze was banned out on your part, but you were able to get Anduin and then Nazebo, and obviously we know that Nazebo this past, not this patch, but today, right, or yesterday, before the second previous patch, got a slight buff on the Spider Belt, and he's actually been very strong. We haven't seen too much Nazebo play, actually, as far as in Division E. We've seen a few matches where he's come out, but he does bring a lot of value. And what it does, yeah. And then you saw on the side of Tarpit bringing out that Deathwing. I did actually enjoy that, but my one caveat is they selected the Deathwing right into a Nazebo, and so I think like there's a few heroes I would not want to select that into. And Nazebo's probably one of them because your team was very CC oriented. You have the taunt, you have the Anduin CC, you have the traps, you have a lot of CC, and that Deathwing negates a lot of that. But your wild card was the Nazebo being able to trap that Deathwing, and it actually does a lot of damage. That Spider build actually does a ridiculous amount of damage. So how did you feel after that? Because you saw that they didn't select a true, traditional tank. What were your thoughts going into, as far as what you wanted to get done on Volskaya?
Okay, I'm gonna talk about the map first. When I decided to go map pick, I was quite surprised. When we did our scouting, we were kind of hesitating on which map we were gonna ban because we saw that five matches on 8 or 7 actually, because 8 was tonight. 5 matches out of 7 they played Volskaya, and that's not really our cup of tea, but I guess we made it, we turned it against to our favor tonight. But when we got in the draft, obviously they kind of knew where we were going with our picks. like pick was Blaze originally, but like
Mm-hmm.
to replace Blaze, like we had the Gazlo, like which has this same ability of stuns like than uh, Blaze or etc. So that was good. Um, Naz, like Korik's playing Naz, like it's not something that we see often, and it's really great to see like the value that Naz can bring in like a game like this. But like Deathwing, I was quite surprised. I was like, okay, is this gonna be like who am I gonna be laning against? Because Gazlo laning against like Deathwing, I was not sure. Then Karik said like, "Oh yeah, you got this. Like you can pick like Giant Burn like at 4." So I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna trust you on that."
Mm-hmm.
So, well, like it like Deathwing takes a lot of place on the point. Like he can just cast a big wave and just zone you out completely. So this is what I was most scared heading in that draft when I saw the Deathwing, and I don't know if the team was on the same page as I was, but this is yeah how I felt like going in that match. As for the points, like they got the 2 first one if I remember right.
Yeah, they got the first one. They were able to push off the first one, and then the
And
second one as well. Yeah, but
we were
they
still
barely got
able
it. They barely
to
got the second one. Yeah.
yeah we were still able uh to keep like the level of talent tier parity or like level parity as well.
Yeah.
So it was really good for like even though we did not get the big the big protector.
Yeah.
And to the last one in the bottom lane where we actually won some fights. Like 20 was our like power spike. As you said, like going to 20 in Volskaya, that's always like outstanding. And like our call was like, okay, we opened the top lane. We almost finished. Like, was it that? No, it was on BOE, I think.
No,
We
you took
almost,
the top fort early, and so you set up your working
yeah,
condition as well, but then you backed off. You did the same thing in BOE, but you backed off that one. You stayed there a little bit, but then
yeah,
you left a little bit. You definitely left a lot earlier on Volskaya.
yeah. But yeah, like when we saw like the point opportunity and also the like after winning like the clear instead of like staying on the point like and possibly I mean getting the protector, we said let's go core. Like people did not see necessarily this opportunity on our side, but like we called it and we were like, yeah, that's wise. Let's go. And then everybody followed the call. We went for it and we just focused the core. Um, when there was like only Rainer alive,
Yeah, it was only Rainer up and four members
and
of
all they were
Tarpit
all coming back like
was like
30
35,
seconds or
like
so.
35 seconds or such when you were rotating up.
Yeah, it was like quick.
Yeah, I mean, and you definitely had
So
two heroes with Junkrat and Nazeebo that definitely have a lot of siege and are able to melt a core rather quickly, and so you were able to
yeah,
actually. I think one of them got up. I think it was like the Deathwing, but by the time the rest of the team got up, I think you already had it like at 20%, and at that point, you could have just died at the core, and then with Nazeebo, and you probably would have secured it. But yeah, again, you did face some adversity with Tarpit being able to secure some of the early objectives, but again, making it very difficult with the Junkrat and a Nazeebo. Those are two heroes that are kind of hard to see into. And I think what kind of compounded that was the Tarpit had a challenge as far as being able to engage. Right, they had the ability to kind of stop your engage with a Deathwing, but they didn't have a good time trying to engage into you. So it was more of a we're just kind of they were trying to poke you out, but you were able to kind of take advantage of some positioning, I would say, mistakes on the part of Tarpit. Having, I think even early on, I think it was Michigan that got you secured the kill on Michigan on the Lucio early with a taunt, and then a second time almost, and quite often you were able to secure mispositions on the part of Tarpit. And so what I was mentioning is I would have, especially when Tarpit was able to kind of, they got like 2 kills on you. I think it was a top objective, And I mentioned that I actually would have liked to see Tarpit kind of take advantage of that. They didn't get much opportunity to have a numbers advantage, and I think they could have done a little bit more. But again, the situation of having a Junkrat and a Nazebo just makes it very challenging. But overall, you were able to kind of being able to negate a lot of the advantage that Tarpit got from securing the first two protectors. They were able to get the first wall and then the top wall and then the sippy cup, but not much after that. And even when they got the second one, a few of them got down, so they couldn't get much value out of the second protector. So it seemed like even though you lost those first two, you weren't in a position where I felt like you were worried. You kind of traded it out well. And it wasn't until a little bit later where Tarpit seemed to be falling behind a little bit. They had to kind of spread out. That's when you were able to secure the top keep. And I believe Deathwing was bottom, trying to get to the bottom fort. But unfortunately, trying to trade a fort for a keep is never...
Yeah, it's not never a good idea.
Never a good value, but I guess it was all very hard because they were down, trying to make up that ground. But also you were able to take advantage. I think I missed one of the kills on tasks that are top because I was busy looking at Deathwing Siege bottom right. That's very interesting. But nonetheless, with that, I think overall you guys did a very good job, and you kind of executed what I've seen from my scouting on my end when I played we played against you, and I think overall also Tarpit kind of came out. But again, it's one of those situations where like they say, you got to soak every lane, right, and stay tight in XP, and sometimes if you fall behind, it just gets challenging. But being able to take advantage of when you have numbers is something that I always kind of reiterate to a lot of teams and people that when I have an opportunity to talk about how you can succeed. You're able to execute your plan, set up a win conditions in both the maps. But with that, I don't think I have any other questions. I think I touched upon the main kind of questions that I had. But with that, I'll say congrats again on your domination. And again, this moves you up to at least solely in first place for now, right? This puts you at 16 points.
I just have to wait for your guys' result.
Well, we'll see how that goes. But with that, I'll give you the floor to see if there's any shoutouts or anything you would like to comment on today's match.
Yeah, I would like to thank the opponent, Tarpit. Thank you for the match. It was great. Thank you for your patience as well. Thank you for the last minute cast as well, Dark. Really appreciate it. The team really appreciate it. It's always fun being casted. Something to look back to, like with a different point of view. It's always good. Thanks for the team. Thanks to the team. Really well played tonight. Well executed. The comms were great. The calls, like everything. We did not overchase the kills or anything. We were actually pretty how do you say that? Like we were behaving fine. Like we were not like off.
I think you were being overzealous, maybe. With
Forgot what I said.
All right.
English would be hard again.
Yeah.
I think thank you to Corix, Shin, Credit, Wade. Thank you to Grim as well for being there as well. In case something happens, like Grim is our sub, always sitting in our corner, waiting for us to see if everything's all right. So thanks again.
Yeah, no problem. And again, GG's and good luck with the rest
Oh.
of your season, right? We have your upcoming season's almost over, right? 2 more matches after this, friends.
Hey, forgot 2 thanks. Thank you to Daddy Xenorus. We did you an honor by putting all Diva portraits just for you because we know that you really love Diva. So shout out to our coach Xenorus, and thank you to my family, I guess.
Great. Well, with that, again, thank you very much to you,
Thank you
everybody.
for your time.
NGS, thank you for joining us tonight. And again, good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Bye.
All right, and with that, that concludes our match for tonight. And again, thank you all for all that joined us today. And I'll be looking forward to cast other matches now that I finally get all my setup going. So with that, I'll see you around, and I'll see you in the Nexus. Have a good one.